Craig J. Lewis standing by, the CEO of Gig Wage, talking about the gig economy because it's live. Sometimes things come out of left field. We've heard stories from years gone by, people that were laid off, even going back to the recession, like, holy crap, what do I do now? And in some instances, they do their own thing, and it turns out that being laid off was the best thing that ever happened to them. These days, partial government shut down a lot of folks with some difficult stories and also time to try something new while they wait to go back to work. With the gig economy, that provides opportunities for you to do it in ways that weren't there previously. Craig J. Lewis is here to talk more about this. Craig, so what is your advice to somebody who is maybe, a furloughed government worker, for example, and they're wanting to do something because they need to in part, but also don't really know how to start?
Yeah, I'd say, well, first of all, Brian, thanks for having me on. And we've been talking about this a lot lately. I think it's a tough situation. They don't know when they're going to be going back to work, but they know the money needs to, bills need to be paid. And so the gig economy is a great solution for them at this time. We're seeing people pick up jobs as Uber drivers. We're seeing people rent out their homes on Airbnb platform. We're seeing people do babysitting and applying to be substitute teachers. Just do whatever you can to make ends meet. We're hoping this shutdown ends soon so people can get back to work and taking care of their families, feeding their families.
Yeah, Craig, when you talk about doing something, I mean, certainly the one that sounds the easiest is like the ride-sharing thing. If somebody's in a position to do something, how quickly can you get going with something like that?
On a lot of these platforms, Brian, you can get up and going same day, right? So one of the beautiful parts about the gig economy and the platforms that have been built around it, it's been optimized in a way that's meant for part-time, shift, task-oriented type work. So you're not going through some interview process or some onboarding process with heavy paperwork. So a lot of these platforms, especially the national ones, you can get going same day. Postmates, Lyft, Uber, they're optimized to get you going immediately.
Now, how many people do you see that kind of get in, wade into this, and then they end up making it their full-time career, even if they hadn't intended?
Yeah, a lot of people. That's really the trend we're seeing, right? So you're seeing all four generations from Gen Z to Gen X to millennials to baby boomers getting into this as part-time, and then it's starting to become more of a full-time thing because of the freedom and flexibility. And not only is it becoming full-time, but people are actually earning great livings. Of the 60-some-odd million contractors in the U.S. today, over 3 million of them earned over six figures last year alone. And so it's a good opportunity. It's a real opportunity, and I think people are taking it serious. But in terms of the government shutdown, this is the perfect example of why the gig economy exists for scenarios like this. There was no option in the past, and now it exists.
And Craig, I've heard criticism even from some listeners that have said, look, I did the Uber and Lyft thing. I'm not able to really make any money at this. What are the ones that people are able to make the best money fairly quickly at?
Yeah, absolutely. So it just kind of depends on your skill set, your location, and what you're passionate about. But we're seeing people make a lot of money as freelance web designers. We're seeing writers and bloggers make a ton of money in the gig economy. And then, like I said, depending on the types of driving or tasks that you're doing and how often and frequent you're doing and what markets you're in, you can make money doing those too. And so some of these platforms are designed to help you make an extra $50, $100. That may not be for everyone, but there are other platforms on there where you can absolutely earn a great wage and take care of your family.
I appreciate it. Craig Lewis, the CEO of Gig Wage. That's Gig Wage. Thank you for the expertise. And we'll be right back. Brian Munch Show, News Radio 610 WIOD.